Good morning, YouTube. Today is Saturday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Excuse me. We are 16 days until we hit the road. Well, 16 days until we're out on the road. I've decided after Colorado, we're pretty much going to be looking for boondocking sites, free camping, BLM land. I'm still trying to decide if we're going to go down into New Mexico and then over into Texas. I think I'll probably work on that plan after we get to Colorado. We're staying at 3 different state parks in Colorado. And the last one that we're staying at is Trinidad, which is close to the New Mexico-Colorado border. And then I'm looking at another park in New Mexico right now that we might camp at. I've read some good reviews, some bad reviews. I don't know. And then going in, if we don't go through Texas and we go in through the Oklahoma Panhandle, I've found a couple places to boondock, but some of the reviews on there are pretty scary. So we'll see. We might just hightail it, and do like a big, long, travel day and just skip through Oklahoma and skip through Arkansas and get down to Louisiana and set up camp down there for about a week or so. Haven't really decided. There's lots of options. Is what it is once you get out on the road, because I don't want to pay any more than $8 to $20 for a campsite while I'm on the road. And if I can find free camping, that's fine. And I know what's going on around the country with Walmart cracking down on overnight parking. Seen a lot of that going around on YouTube and Instagram. So, I think the best bet is, even if it does say no overnight parking, call ahead and ask a manager, or go in and ask the manager when you get there. But it kind of looks like, times are changing pretty quick. I feel society doesn't want us to be, well, not society, let's just say, the powers that be. They would rather people work, 9 to 5 jobs up until they're 60 some odd years old, retire, and then go live, at a nursing home, or, retire out of the country. That's what a lot of people are doing right now. A lot of people are retiring to Mexico. They're retiring to places in South America, like Colombia and Peru and Ecuador, and there's a lot of retirees down there in Panama. But in my whole plan after we travel is to take the van down to Colombia, try to get it shipped across the Durham Strait, then travel down there for a while. And I might end up living down there. The cost of living is really cheap from all the research I've done. You can buy a finca, which is a farm down there, for pretty cheap, cheaper than you can buy a $100,000 house here in Kansas. And a $100,000 house here in Kansas is like a $3.2 million house in California, or a $1 million house, well, a $2 million house up in like Denver, Colorado. But that's just their housing is out of control up there. What I pay here in Kansas for a 1-bedroom apartment, in Denver, I'd have to pay $1,200, and be in a bad part of Denver. So I've already done research on moving to Colorado. There's no point unless you live 2 hours drive time outside of Denver, or outside of Colorado Springs, or outside of Pueblo. The housing is just ridiculous. But so that's pretty much what our plan is right now. we might even be out of this apartment earlier than 1st of April and just be living in Kansas until my wife finishes up her job. We do have some friends that live in Conway Springs where we can park the van at and stay the night, with them for a couple nights if we have to. We've been having some problems here with our neighbors at the apartment complex. I don't know if they just don't like us or what the deal is. Last night we got a knock on our door from our apartment security saying that these people said that our dog was off the leash and took a shit in front of their freaking apartment. One, if anybody's seen our dog Trouble, he can't go without being on a leash. I don't ever let that dog off a leash when I'm outside with him. Two, mostly because he's a runner. And two, we always clean up after our dog. We've lived here 8 months. This is the second dog that we've had living here. We've always cleaned up after our pets. So one of my neighbors has something out for us. And apparently they told the security if we didn't, clean it up or, start picking up after our dog, they were going to confront us themselves. And that's fine. I have no problem with confrontation. We can have a nice little freaking chat about it. You can even step inside my apartment while my dog's off the leash. But anyway, so yeah, if we have to get moving, I think we're good. Or there's a local state park here, Lake Afton. It's kind of out of the way on our journey to Colorado, but we've stayed there. We've camped there. We could probably camp there. It's pretty cheap. Pay $28, a night, I think it is, and then there's a pass to get in. Well, that's not cheap. That's about what Colorado's costing. But we could always go there. I know a couple places around Wichita where we could boondock, and the Walmart that is close to us still allows overnight parking. So we'll see. Just things we're keeping in mind right now. I mean, if we have to bug out of the apartment, because we've already given our 30-day notice, if we have to move quick, we can. Most everything's out of the apartment. The stuff that's still here, we're throwing away. We're not putting in storage. All of our valuable stuff's already been put in storage. Monte Carlo, I have a storage spot for it to park it, so that's not a problem. And if we stay in town, I'll just put the van out at the lake, drive it out there, and then, we'll still have 2 cars to get to and from it. So, but we are putting the Monte in storage before we hit the road, and we're just taking the truck and the van. My hope is nothing will go wrong, knock on wood. But you never know. So, we'll see. If all else fails, something happens major with the van, we'll always have the truck to come back. That's why I thought it'd be smart to have a followed vehicle, especially if we're staying in places where we can park the vehicle and leave it. That way we can travel around. And like a couple places in Denver, like you go to 16th Avenue Mall there's no way our van would fit in the parking garage. So we'll just have it parked somewhere and be able to take the truck around Denver, around Aurora, and then our next spot, we'll be able to park it, go explore Gardens of the Gods and other stuff, and pretty much. But after Colorado, it's going to be a trick because we're going to be looking for free camping. Well, hope everybody's having a great St. Patty's Day. Peace.